Right at it. Right at it. Oh, he's done it again. Just as he did at the John Deere for his first win.
Howdy, and welcome to episode 188 of the Go Get That podcast. This is a double up Masters recap as we look forward to the RBC Heritage. The Masters was a long and frustrating week of no Mills. All Mills did was leave it short. Great on the par putts what was that, Friday? He just made every par putt he looked at. But yeah, again, a very easy golf tournament with his ball striking to get into contention. And he was unable to do that. The fact that he was over par through 2 rounds was pretty remarkable. Just about the worst he could have possibly been if he played those 2 rounds with that striking a million times. So, and I believe he did that with no water balls, no penalty shots. Am I correct?
Nope.
Through 2 rounds.
Oh, yes, through 2 rounds. Yes.
Yeah, because 13 was
Saturday. It's also garbage time. But
of course.
waited till garbage time for the water ball. But yeah, it should be a long one. Schedules were a little bit rough for the 3 of us, so we're doing a Masters recap and a Heritage preview, as Bob said. Yeah, it was an interesting week because, I mean, you think about the result and it's like there's obviously so much excitement with Masters Week. The result was kind of disappointing. I mean, I think all along we were talking about how we could easily see a backdoor T8, T7. It was a T12. Started strong. I mean, I'm sure we'll get into the course quite a bit, but 72 on Thursday was only 5 back. Played pretty good. I mean, it wasn't as good as it could have been, obviously, with the lack of putter, but it was only 5 back. Grinded well on a tough golf course, and then the wheels fell off Friday with Mills not making a thing. Golf course got a little bit easier. And then, yeah, Saturday came, and I had a million people asking me, is he still in the golf tournament? Is he still in the golf tournament when Rory was up, 6? And I was like, hell yeah, he's in the golf tournament. If he could shoot the best round of the day on Saturday, which he obviously did not do, but Scheffler did that, and we fast forward to Sunday, and Scheffler was right there at the end. Came up 2 inches away on 17 from making that birdie, and it would have been a playoff with Rory. But yeah, for the second consecutive year, we are recapping a Masters win by Rory McIlroy. Don't think any of us saw that. I mean, I picked him for triple double, the new leader here, as I should mention, in triple double, but I didn't think Rory would win. I just thought for a money purpose that he was a good pick, and lo and behold, he took home $4.5 million in the green jacket.
This week was both surprising in some ways and unsurprising in many others. I feel like it was a pretty good encapsulation of how the game's been the past few weeks. Very much carried over the flat stick from Valero into the Masters, which was disappointing. And we can get into that more, I think. There's a lot to kind of unpack there just in terms of maybe the mentality, the physical stroke, or how the greens played, the speed of them, how the course played throughout the week, sort of with some greens playing softer than others, slower than others. It's been well documented, I'm sure, on this podcast, the inability to adjust mid-tournament to the green speeds usually takes 36 to 54 holes, which is, half to 3/4 of a golf tournament. And at that point, you're not going to be able to adjust and get into contention. But on the flip side, nothing wrong with a T12, right? Like a good Sunday close, and trying to carry some of the ball striking into a place that certainly rewards good iron play. But I'm curious, like Jordan and I talked about this a little bit, Bob, just in terms of how the course played and the setup of it for the Masters. I'm curious kind of your take because Thursday played was the hardest day of the week, which
by
to me
far.
doesn't feel quite right.
It was a disgrace.
Knew that was
For
coming.
many
Unsurprising
reasons.
answer.
Um, I think the tournament overall in 50 years should be looked back at with very little weight, comparatively to other Masters. I think that would be the correct way to look back on this terrible tragedy of a week at Augusta. Um, I just think that one, what a disappointment that you got perfect weather and didn't do more with the golf course. Because there are years where you can do a lot with the golf course when it rains just because of the great sub air system. But this year they went out of their way to make it very McIlroy appetizing. Um, and I don't know. I think that it stinks because I mean I have my theories. I mean I do think it's a little ridiculous that people are blaming Rory for going 3 weeks early, but wouldn't surprise me if the Green Jackets saw that and decided to try and, you know, mess with everyone else's um, take on the golf course. Maybe they've been slow the last few weeks and let Rory get adjusted to that and decided not to speed him up to play into his hands. The thing that really did it for me is Rory did chip the ball great all week. But some of the up and downs he had this week just aren't possible on a firm golf course. Um, it's just all these short-sighted shots that are going away from you. Like a good shot's 10 feet and he's putting it to a foot. And don't get me wrong, they're great shots, but it just, as someone who doesn't like McIlroy, it hurt to see. It also hurt to see watching every single one of the chasers leave putts short for most of the week. It hurt to see Spieth leave putts short all week. And for someone who's as mentally fragile as Spieth, he was never going to be able to adjust to that. We know that. Because I don't know if you saw, but Xander's coach called out the Masters a little
Yeah.
bit, saying that 5-3 putts can't happen. We have to be better. But shocked at the way the speeds got slower from Thursday and on. Um, just very. I mean, they made their mistake on Saturday, right? Because if they make it firm on the or on Friday, if they make it firm on the weekend, Rory probably runs away with it, and we don't have a golf tournament. But maybe he doesn't. Maybe that driver starts to punish him more, and he comes back to the fields. I think that the winner winning at 11 under means that no one really played their A game this week because the golf course or 12 under because the golf course played as easy as I've seen it in a long time. So I don't know. I think that minus what did Speed finish? -5.
Yeah.
I mean that not finishing top 10 is pretty disgraceful in my opinion, just given the conditions that were out there. Um, it just yeah, I just it was such a missed opportunity for the sport that we didn't get a firm and fast Masters with the conditions we had, especially with no wind. Um, so yeah, it was a sham. I won't be recognizing the victory. I've been on to the RBC Heritage since Justin Rose three putted for Eagle on 13. So just a really tough week and a persecution of Rosie as well. I think that point speaks for itself. But unfortunate.
Yeah, I think one of the parts that I've found interesting, or at least the way that I see it, is I think Thursday was a little too juiced up for a Thursday. Um, it was it still gettable? Sure. McIlroy burns 5 under in the morning.
It was
But
a tough
the
day.
best
Yeah,
time
I
out in the
mean,
afternoon was a couple under, which is fine. I do think the Masters, when conditions are perfect, I think it's a course that should play to about 10 or 11 under. I think that's what I would like to see the winning score at. Ultimately, they got there, I think just in the wrong order. Um, I think if it plays like it did Friday on Thursday and it plays like it did Thursday come Sunday, I think we're looking at a much more fun kind of view of the golf course. But it's a tough course to. I think when it is windy, it's easier to make it harder because you actually have to slow the greens down, and you can to keep the balls from sliding all over the place, and you can move some pins around, and it can get a little bit tricky. Um, but when it's so firm, I don't. I think some of the shots that they want guys to hit become unfair if they let it go, just because of the slopes. And I'm not saying it was close to that Thursday, but I think they could have gotten it there Sunday. And that's not really what I want to see at the
sure,
Masters.
I'll push back by saying this. You can have certain greens be a teeny bit firmer than other greens if the speeds are consistent. Especially if they're in certain areas of the golf course that are less exposed. I think that the way, say, one played on Sunday, whatever, yeah, like you want to be able to use that slope and be able to stop it a little bit. The fact that you could spin it on 12 really just didn't sit right with me to that Sunday pin. I mean, that's just not how that hole's supposed to be played.
No,
12 was never really a worry for the leaders.
there's no wind.
Um, they were like it was just it was a dartboard. It was fire right at it, and that ultimately is what run Rory the championship. And I just think that if you're gonna make birdie on that hole to win the Masters, which is essentially what he did, he really wasn't gonna lose after that. Um, it's just got to be you got to either take on a really aggressive shot or you got to be able to make a 30 footer. And he just had a stock 9 iron into that soft green, and it was fairly easy to get it within 10 feet. So,
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I think it was also one of the better shots of the day on 12. So if it really was a
sure.
dartboard, they didn't show a lot of people hitting it much closer than he did. And there weren't a ton of twos on 12 on Sunday. Regardless, what I will say, and 12 is
Four
interesting because it's
four
got
twos
the
on Sunday. Just putting that out there. Four
four.
twos. Four twos.
Yeah. What I will say about 12, right? It's a little tough with the trees kind of hanging in the background. I imagine it doesn't get as much sun as the rest of the course. It is what it is. I think 15 was awesome this week. I think it was peak on Thursday, but I think they kind of knew that if you let 15 go anymore, you're running into a possibility where multiple players are making nines come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they did Thursday.
Would have been
And I think
fantastic.
that's what's up.
Which I think would have been fantastic.
I just don't think the Masters should look like that. You want to do that at a US Open? Sure. I think it should be played where sure nine could be in play. I don't have a problem with how 15 played all week. I'm just saying if they kept it going from what it was Thursday, I think I would have had a problem with 15. That target is already so small, and if it's firm, um, as it was, like seeing balls go off the back and go into the water is sick. But if at some point, if you can't land it in the middle of the green and it's rolling 30 yards off the back, 20 yards off the back, then I'm not sure what
Yeah,
you
I
should
mean, I
expect
agree
that
with
play.
that. I feel like I didn't feel like 15 was that firm on the green this week. I felt like it was all over the green that really was where it was firm. Like, I mean, Rory hit the same exact shot he hit quite literally to a tee as he did last year, land it in the same spot, and instead of rolling to the back of the green, it ended up 35 feet short. So I don't think the green was that firm at all. I think it was the behind the green that was really firm.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
like I said, I don't think 15 reached what it was projected to reach on Thursday. It played brutally hard Thursday.
Yeah,
Like that
I agree.
was, and I think I guess my overarching point is that my guess is that Thursday surprised the course setup a little bit. Like I think they were hoping Thursday. I don't know if they were hoping what Thursday would play, but I think it played harder than they thought,
I
and
think
they
that's a fair
adjusted
take. I think that
Friday.
they might have been a little spooked,
Yes,
and that
I
might
think
have been the difference.
that's well said.
I think that's very possible.
And so if they had kind of had it in a little bit more order where it progressed throughout the week, that would have been great. But I do think from Friday on, it played, even though the scoring average on Friday was higher than Saturday and Sunday, just because you have all the old people and the amateurs. I do think it played progressively harder from Friday. They jumped the gun on getting it set up the way they wanted it to become Sunday, and then I think overdid it to get it back on a better course by Sunday. And that, it happens, but it's disappointing when it's supposed to be one of the peak, controllers of how the golf course is played. There's no wind, no rain. You can do what you want to it, and they sort of messed it up a little bit.
Fair points. Yeah, I mean, I think we have our opinions and they don't matter. I mean, we go back to 2021, it's been 10, 11, or 12 the last 7 years. Um, and Scheffler was only a 10 and 22 because he wanted to have a little bit of fun on the 72nd hole. Um, yeah, it's tough. There's no wind. Like I know Bob's mentioning 12, but what makes 12 awesome is the wind, and there just wasn't any. And credit to Rory. I mean, he stepped up and hit a shot. Like if Spieth was in that position on Sunday, who knows what happens on 12 to the leader. I mean, he executed and uh, he hit a good shot, and our guy, who knows what would have happened. The course was fine. I think it's just the 10, 11, 12. That's kind of what they want. They don't really let it go. There was no wind. There weren't guys playing in rain with the ball going nowhere. Certainly could have been tougher, but yeah, I think Dan's probably right. They probably got a little bit spooked on Thursday and eventually got it back down. It actually played easier last year, uh, which is interesting. Just throwing that out there.
I mean, Thursday played hard, but it played to what, 74 point, uh, 2-ish.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, part of that's, you got the old
74
fellas,
6.
74-6. Part of that's you got the old fellas. You got the amateurs, you got the Bob Max. Like rounds scores add up pretty quickly
Puck
on Thursday. Yes, the pot
Dave
heaters,
D. Riley's.
the D Rileys. Who else was
Yeah,
down there? That was incredible. It was like 11 over.
I
Um,
also think here's my a little more issue with the first round compared to the rest. Is I think if you mess up that first round, then you've already messed up, and it's really not fair to go back and try and fix it because you can't have the greens. It's one thing if you want to soften the golf course. You can't. I mean, the way Jason Day was making it sound like was like they went down like a stimp and a half from Thursday to Friday. Like, I just don't think the green speeds can change that much from one day to the next.
yeah.
If you want to soften them a little bit, that's fine. But there were just so many balls that you're used to seeing roll certain places and like roll off certain parts of the green that just weren't happening, and it was frustrating. It's just I don't mind softening the greens by any means if the green speeds stay consistent. And the fact that they were like unrecognizable for Augusta standards, I mean, they weren't rolling any faster than your average PGA Tour event, which is, in my opinion, pretty poor. Um, and I just think I don't think it had as much to do with the watering as I don't think they cut them and rolled them as much as they usually do.
Yeah, excuse my bitching, but I mean, what did you say? Xander's coach, Scotty, I think Spieth made a they were all complaining about no, Andrew Novak, the practice green being way faster than the actual greens were. Like, what are we doing? Like, I think Dan mentioned at the beginning our guys' inability to adjust, but what are we doing? I think it was Friday that Novak made that comment, possibly because Novak wasn't there on the weekend. He might have been. I don't know if he was, but I think Novak said Friday. And I remember texting Dan. Obviously, Spieth's got to adjust, but he three putted two. He left the
Yeah.
lag putt significantly shorter, probably because he thought that practice green was going to be
Because
what he was going to be putting on.
you
Yeah.
don't need the greens to be super firm for the course to play great. Like that 812 wouldn't have been as much of a dartboard on the weekend purely because Rory would have known that he had to hit that much better of a shot. Because even though the shot he hit would have landed in the same direction, all of a sudden that double cross bailout left becomes an extremely hard chip purely because of how much faster it runs away from you. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be as firm. But I just think that the fact that it played so un Augusta National like on the greens, that's much more my problem than the actual into the green shots that you were more describing, Dan, like 15.
Yeah. And I think there's right, it's important to separate those things out because
Yeah.
that's a fair distinction between the speed of the greens and the ability to hit shots into greens. And I don't even really think they were all that firm Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But to your point, really the main sort of changing was the green speeds. There wasn't necessarily that lightning quick Augusta feel to them. At least not until I think come Sunday afternoon, it sort of turned into,
Yeah. Come
for the
Sunday
most part, what
afternoon,
I
they
think
started to
about
get
the
there,
Masters. Yeah.
but there were a lot of putts early on that were left short, I think. And like we can't give Spieth a free pass because of this. I would have been happy to give him that 9 holes. You do have to adjust, but there gets to a point where what makes Augusta National so good is how defensive you have to be on downhill putts, and that's because they get to the hole.
Right.
So I just think that for me, it did not feel like Augusta National this week. And yes, they got to 12 under. They got there the wrong way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't think it had much to do with the softness at all. I really just think it had a lot to do with the putts. Everyone was low and short all week, besides Rory. So congrats to Rory on figuring it out. But
It's easy
um,
to figure out when you get to watch everyone on Saturday and Sunday afternoon when he's sitting
yeah,
back, relaxing, probably
for
playing a
sure.
practice round, even with competitors on the course. He was going
Maybe.
by with yeah, which is, you mentioned that earlier. That's completely fine. Jordan could do it, but Jordan's too worried about playing the Valero Texas Open rather than prepping, which I'm also joking
Yes.
about. He can do whatever he wants, but um, yeah, our guy hasn't won a Masters since 2015, and he keeps playing the week before the Masters. So maybe try something different. Not to say that's why he's not winning the Masters, but
Yeah.
just food for thought. Because I mean, we did come down to the deadline with the Valero commit a couple weeks ago. That certainly wasn't set in stone. Ended up playing there, didn't go well,
Certainly
but
didn't give him much confidence on the greens head into Augusta.
no, tough week for Mills. Mills continues the downward spiral. Um, wasn't pretty. Um, wasn't surprising. I mean, he putted terribly at Valero. I think I said in my Instagram recap, it's was very far-fetched to think he'd make enough putts to really have a chance on Sunday, and he did not. He missed a lot of putts. He had enough opportunities to, give him a chance on Sunday. He just did not convert, which was disappointing. But he's one of the best iron players on the planet, so that's cool. So we have that.
Yeah, it's well said. I think it's very easy to get excited about this week. Um, you do worry about the anti-champion effect. Like who knows? Maybe the putter finds form this week, and the irons start finding. I don't even know what they call the water hazards here. What kind of swamps are they? But I mean, it's just not. You never know what you're going to get with this guy, and it just sucks to waste just an unbelievable striking week, especially with something I didn't think about, but I'm sure you've talked about with Dan, and I'm sure Dan understands this as well as I did the minute you brought it up, was, he was hitting a lot of shots to 10 feet last week that aren't going to be rewarded the same way here. So it does stink to not take advantage of how much better he was hitting it than the field last week, because the people, as Jordan was saying, who are going to be hitting it worse are going to get a lot easier shots to hit this week. There are a lot of wedges. There are a lot of very easy golf shots on this golf course. If you take care of the hard ones, you're going to get around here just fine. Wind's going to be up, so the winning score should be fairly solid, probably 14 under if I had to guess. So great winning score for Jordan. So I think, yeah, I really hope that he doesn't come out this week regressing with the irons. Especially if he putts it well this week, because they are greens he likes and they're not very hard greens to read.
Yeah, no, I mean, you mentioned just one thing, Dan. You mentioned some of the iron shots he was hitting at Augusta. I mean, they were just sensational. I mean, flagged it on 5 that one day. I mean, all these days kind of go hand in hand, but what was the day?
Saturday.
Saturday goes right over the flag at 5. I mean, just a twirl on 5 that, I mean, just gets you going. And then on 1, he freaking, was it Saturday as well or Sunday, where he hits hybrid off the tee on 1, flares it outright. Just a terrible, terrible hybrid off the tee. He's 190 yards back, and it doesn't freaking matter because he flushes an iron up the hill to like 12 feet. The difficulty in iron shot that he was hitting just gets you going. I mean, we knew the wedges were there from 100 to 150 yards, but I mean, this week from 150 and up, and I'm sure he put in a lot of work because you need that around Augusta, flush after flush. And he just, of course, couldn't buy a putt.
Yeah, it speaks. It's an interesting week to come off hitting a bunch of good shots like that, because, as you mentioned, Hilton Head is much more of a wedge fest in some ways. I wouldn't say these wedges are super easy, especially if the wind is up. These are pretty small targets. Greens can get just a little, they get a little bounce to them. You're going to have to hit some really good shots. But I think kind of your point, Augusta, part of what makes it such a great golf course is that you get separation. I think that's any good golf course when you put tour pros on it is, do you get separation? Like, does somebody's skill or capabilities allow them to be in a different, score sphere than somebody else? And we saw that at Augusta, right? Rory was just on point the first 2 days and he was 6 clear. Hilton Head, not the case, right? You're going to have a bunch of guys, you'll probably have 2 or 3 scores inside the top 10. three or four guys at each kind of score mark. Which to your point is about the shots to 10 feet aren't rewarded the same as they are at Augusta. You got to be shots to 3 to 4 feet, and then you got to capitalize on those. So, not the greatest week to continue to carry over the momentum of some of the middle to long irons, but I do think with some of the golf courses post Hilton Head, Doral, Aronimink, like it's an important kind of area of the iron play to get in gear. It's also, I believe it's what now, 6 straight events gaining strokes approach. So I feel like at this point we've got a pretty consistent.
Four of
We
those
should
six were
have some
big too.
correct. There should be some confidence in how the iron play is gonna kind of pan out. Which is really nice. I mean, that's how you create a high floor. That's how you backdoor a top 12. That's how you miss every
You
putt, it feels like, and still are above the middle of the pack at the first major of the year. And you kind of get it going on Saturday, Sunday to find yourself in a good finish.
you also hope he almost like he's a hungry dog. Like he seemed frustrated in that presser after Sunday when he was talking about how he hit it better than when he won, which in my opinion I think is a little bit baloney. um I think he thinks he's hitting it a lot better than he is per usual, but I mean he
Not to
definitely hit
iron it
it.
much better.
He definitely hit it better than he has probably any other year here. Um which makes it even harder to swallow the putter. But I think that
21.
you have to hope well, it's close. It's
Oh,
very
perfect.
similar years. Very similar years.
Yeah.
So I think that you look at his approach this week, maybe he's just like fed up. Like if he goes up and he's fed up and he knows he's hitting it well, um, maybe he does just step up to that 10-footer and hit it with a little more oomph. Because he was missing a lot of these short putts like in the heart this week. Like the stroke didn't look that bad. Like that stroke on I'll say this. I'll give him 2 and 3 on Friday. I think that just with what we've heard now, I think that putt on 3 goes in any other year. It was a good stroke that he hit off the center of the face. That putt on 2, he probably never leaves that short.
They were cheating the greens.
Yeah. So I'll give him those two because I think 3 looked like even 8. Like it's tough for me to be like that late into a round, however you adjusted, but at the same time, like no one feels these greens. No one's felt these greens as well as Spieth did in 2015. So he obviously knows something. And to leave it that woefully short, just to me, it feels like there's no way that was just a mental lapse. Like it feels like he just couldn't commit to hitting that putt any harder given on a normal year. So maybe he has the confidence to hit it harder this week, just given what golf course we're playing. I assume the greens will be a little slower if the wind is going to be up. So maybe that's good. Maybe he's ready to hit them firm. And I really do think this week's coming down to a short game. I think that he's going to hit the shots into the greens. It stinks that we're not getting a driver heavy course this week because I think he made a lot of strides with the driver at Augusta. Driver, for the most part, felt fairly good. He had a few wild swings, but like those wild swings hurt you at Augusta. They don't hurt you as much on the PGA Tour. Like they weren't that wild. Like they were just double crosses into the left trees, which you can get away with on a lot of tour courses. Like there were no terrible, terrible drives that I can remember. Even that one on 15 took a large kick. But I would have liked to see a driving course this week. I'm hoping that the driver can be just as good when he has to hit it 14 times in a few weeks. But yeah, I think it's coming down to the short game. I don't know what your guys' opinion is, but I think he's gonna have to get up and down from some tricky spots. As Dan said, these are small targets, small greens, small peninsulas on greens that are covered by bunkers that you have to hit to. If you're not really sharp, you're gonna have to get a ball up and down. And the short game's been iffy recently.
It certainly feels like the part of the game that hasn't had to show off the most. I think part of that's just due to like, hey, iron play's been good. And when you hit good iron shots, you don't have to chip it as much. Um, just sort of felt like last week there wasn't as much magic maybe around the greens as we've sort of become accustomed to. Um, some tricky spots around these greens. I think for the most part, though, what is interesting because the greens are so flat, unless you're up against like the bulkheads and the bunkers, for the most part, these are pretty, I don't want to say routine, but like pretty standard chip shots. And I think sometimes those are the ones that get left 5 or 6 feet short when they really should be within the circle of friendship. Um, and I think it's interesting that it feels that way because the putter actually has spiked at some point this year, right? It was really good on the West Coast, decent in the first two Florida events, and then just sort of found some struggles here. And the drivers sort of turned it around the past few weeks. I will note I wasn't able to watch like every shot from this week, but does seem like it was a pretty fade heavy driver at Augusta. I'm not sure there's a lot of comfort turning the ball over from right to left right now. For what that's
Fair.
worth, I'm not sure. I will say it feels similar to 22. I believe he came into Hilton Head and ripped baby fades with the 3-wood and the driver all week. And I didn't make a putt that week either and still found a way to win. So feels like the driver setup's in a good spot for this week. I don't mind playing cuts all week. I think he would prefer to have a draw in the bag, but if we're going to put a band-aid on it for the majors and get around with that level of driving, I'd sign up for that for the rest of the majors, I think.
Matuba plays a fade.
The
Inside
tuba
joke.
does play a fade.
Tuba plays a fade. Inside joke. But yeah, I mean he was credit to the tour. We got the range tracker at Augusta that they introduced last year in the tour. I mean, props to them for freaking copying the Masters, which is typically a pretty good thing to do. And we have range tracker at every single signature event from here on out this year. So recording this Tuesday night, he was on the range today. He hit quite a few drivers. I don't think it's because it's in a bad spot. I just think, I feel a lot of guys when they're, just trying to grind a little bit. I think Rory on Saturday in Augusta hit a lot of drivers. Just a good club to kind of have in gear because it's tough to get around when it's not in gear. Yeah, I mean the driver is. Do I dare use the word weapon now? I mean, just looking at the stats. I mean, West Coast, he from Phoenix to Genesis lost in three straight, and now Valsparta Masters, he's gained in three straight. It's really good. He's still this week off the tee when he missed would find himself in some kind of tricky spots. I mean, he missed right on 14 on Thursday, which he was boned on because the ball is below his feet. He just couldn't do a whole lot. And he missed the fairway by what, 5 yards? Seven, which might be like my most favorite hole at Augusta. That's not one of the mainstream holes just because these guys love to shake the ball and you got to hit it straight there. Missed the fairway there by what, 3-4 yards and was kind of boned, which that hole will do to you. So yeah, I felt like again, like the misses were getting a little bit unlucky, especially after watching McIlroy hit it all over the damn yard and have break after break after break and have a shot. But um, I think that tends to even itself out. I think Dan, maybe in the preview, said get a little bit lucky with some of the misses. Not that he didn't at Augusta, but it just feels like we might have contention, if not this week, in the near future. And there might be a wayward tee shot that, maybe he does get a break on. So yeah, driver all in all in a good spot. I think the short game is a good call out, Bob. I was telling you before we went live here, I'm kind of upset he made that chip on 13 on Sunday because it really helped the stats. And the short game just like was iffy. I think Dan said, yeah, the magic wasn't quite there, but there were just some shots I expect to be a little bit better on. And it's so funny because historically he chips so good around here, and such a large part of that is because the second shot on three counts as an around the green shot. He hit that shot perfect pretty much 4 straight days, where there's just other guys that can't play that hole because they can't hit that second shot. But yeah, it'll be interesting. The simple ones, as you mentioned, Dan, this week are typically always substandard. Um, and yeah, I think it's as good as he's hitting it, the irons and wedges. You add some wind. Don't care how good you're hitting it. You're probably going to be scrambling a little bit more than you would expect to.
I I think that it's also nice for the first time this year, at least for me. Um, Usually his wins you trend towards. Um, I I still think there's a large mental hurdle he'd have to overcome, but in terms of the golf, like it's trending towards a win into this week. I think that we've at least gotten there. I do think we need more contention before we win. I don't expect him to get in the contention and win first try, but it does feel like the golf at the very least is trending towards a win, which is nice. I mean, we would have taken that around this time of year, maybe a few weeks too late, but I mean, it's nice to see.
It's interesting you mentioned the golf trending. He's actually in on his own number this week. No exemptions. He's ninth on the Aon top 10, which I believe it's a season long thing. So as long as he continues to keep playing pretty well, he should find himself into these signature events pretty easily. I know he's into the Cadillac as well, um, which I think may also be because of the Aon top 10. Because the only event in between it is the Zurich. And I'm not sure that those points translate to the signature events in the same way, given that it's a team event, um,
It's
which is great. Uh,
it's
and
it is top 10 through Zurich, Dan. So there is points for some freaking reason given out at the Zurich, it sounds like.
okay, so
I
good week, and then we're into the Cadillac on our own number.
Yeah.
Cadillac signature, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean he's already into the Cadillac.
Thank God.
Like he's already committed,
He's in on a
but
sponsor's exemption if he's not in on his own.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's nice. I think this was the fourth top 12 finish of the year. I believe it's two top 11s, two T11s, two T12s. And it was funny, our group chat on Twitter all mentioned it, but I tweeted it out as well. Like he actually earned an invitation into next year's Masters outside of winning the 2015 Masters. Because he was actually only into Augusta based on merit, or
Nice,
based on the 2015 Masters.
nice to see him hop out of the Olazabal,
Correct.
Willett,
Mike
um, Weir.
Cabrera.
Oh yeah, Cabrera off to a hot start this week.
Same with
Yeah.
Jose.
Yes,
JM
Jose
was on the
Marino.
board. He was on the big
Yeah.
board early.
Olazabal was solo leader early Thursday
Yes.
morning.
I believe there was a point where him and Cabrera were the only two people under par.
Yes, yes, there was. Olazabal was 200 through 3. He was actually 200 through 8. So it was an
Yeah,
impressive first 8 for Olazabal. But
still beat Puck Eater by 10.
yeah, no, he whooped up on Aldrich. Yeah, the general point there is like the golf again is becoming very high floor, where the ceiling hasn't quite been reached yet, but it's getting us back into like events that he's a guy of his caliber should be in with no questions.
Yeah, I'd like to see us stop teeing off so early and just like backdooring our way in with a good final round. I'd like to see us start having some late tee times on the weekend,
Yes.
even if we're not in contention. I believe Spieth was on the 16th hole when the broadcast when McIlroy teed off. So let's let's strive for not making the turn before the broadcast begins. Let's strive for some later tee times. Even if we just go into the weekend T16, the T32s, it's an early wake up. It's an early wake up. So
For you, it is. Yeah. I mean, that was what, 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. over on the
not
West
bad.
Coast.
Yeah. Only
Well,
yeah.
not bad, but I mean, we'd appreciate uh, a few hours after that.
Yes. Well, at least it
Just the
wasn't the
point.
Rom tee time.
That's
Oh,
true.
yes, the
Yeah, it was
Rams.
Legion and Fireball at the Fireball damaging property and then getting a stern talking to from a green jacket after
I
that.
believe you released a statement today. I didn't read it, but
He did release a statement. He did release a statement.
what did
Surely he
it say?
meant it.
Yes, surely.
Was it
That
just I'm sorry?
it's like 98% AI.
Yeah, it was poor from the Fireball. Wasn't a great outfit for the Fireball either on Sunday with the red shirt and the black pants. We went full tiger.
Yeah.
No yellow at least this week, which was good to see.
Oh, oof.
The yellow wasn't out.
The yellow was one of the worst things to ever happen to Augusta National. And what he was even worse is at Oakmont, um, new Fireball member Jose Ballester wore the same exact outfits on Saturday at Oakmont.
Yeah, so yeah, it wasn't the red on black that was bad. It was the red belt from Sergio on Sunday. He went the red belt,
Ooh,
which not great, not great. He also had black shoes and red laces, so he fully bought
and
into the
and a black glove with red
yes,
fingers, finger
yes.
outlinings.
No, I forever remember with Sergio and we were at Port Rush. I literally took a photo of him at Port Rush because of the outfit.
The
First
gloves
time
have
I've
to stop.
yeah, it's the first yeah, the gloves are off. I mean, the Fireballs need a better scripting partner, I think.
Yeah,
Telling me that the a guy wearing red and black on Sunday crashed out.
Yes, that's one way to put it. It's the red belt. It can't be the red belt. Just wear the black belt. That's fine.
Looks like a baseball player.
Yeah, he look like a baseball player.
It's on this got he's playing the Savannah Bananas later. Um,
shrink the game.
yes. Game.
No comment on egg salad and
Oh,
pimento
good
and
God. Egg salad.
16.
Any comments on Kevin Hart at the par three
Oh,
contest?
goodness.
We could go on for hours. We had Kevin Hart, we had Jason Kelsey, we had The Miz, we had Fred Ridley at his press conference on Wednesday talking about how Dude Perfect was a poor idea. If Dude
Yeah.
Perfect was a poor idea, why do we need Kevin Hart, Jason
Jason
Kelsey,
Kelsey.
The Miz?
Well, so I think
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think some of that's ESPN,
That's fair.
but the
Well, Augusta,
Ridley
don't
has a way.
the
don't
Riddler's
agree
got to
to
regain
those.
control.
Yeah, don't agree to those partnerships then.
I agree. Well, I think ESPN is, I mean, they've got an interesting way of doing things these days. So yeah, the par three contest, like it is what it is. Not a, I don't think I need Jason Kelsey there. No problems with him, but my dad likes to note that he's everywhere, and it's kind of a lot, which is true. Like I don't need Jason Kelsey at the Masters. Um, and we also had I mean, what a weekend now that we're just thinking about it. We also had the app like break on Thursday.
Oh my gosh. How does
Like
that happen?
shots just wouldn't load. I will say by the end of the week it was pretty good. Or it was back to
I
its
don't know
standard,
if it
but
was really good. I just think every shot was of Spieth was basically shown. Like I remember on Sunday, like the app would load in time and then we'd get to a featured hole and the app would be incorrect based on where we saw it. So that makes us question like is that where he even went?
Yeah.
when we were tracking on the app.
Well, I guess just in terms of like the updates of the shots, getting the videos into the app come
There
Sunday,
was
I thought
also
was
a
uh,
birdie given to Jordan on one of the holes that he did not make the putt.
4. Was it 4?
No, I think maybe 9.
Huh. Yeah, that sucked. I didn't see that until I checked it when you said it in chat, and I'm like, yeah, I'm happy I didn't
It
see
might have
that.
been 4 actually. Now that I think about it, because it was a
Yeah.
featured hole.
Yes,
incredible.
I think it
Maybe
was 4.
6. Yeah, one of those 2 par threes. I think it was. Yeah, now I think about it.
Yeah, so maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. But yeah, that was disappointing. Trying to think what else. There's just kind of a lot happened this week. Was with Bob Mack flipped off 15 and then turned into an AI bobblehead and reposted it on his story. That was
I'd respect him
some
having
content.
fun. Good for
I'm
him.
just not. I can't do Bob Mack.
No, I do
I
agree.
think he'd be
I
if
don't know
he was an
why I can't
American.
do Bob Mack. I don't have a reason for it.
I think it's because
I
he's
just can't do
Scottish.
Bob Mack.
I think if he was an American Ryder Cupper, you would be all in on Bob Mack.
There is some Brian
Maybe, but
Harmon
he's
there.
Shout out Harmon, by the way. He was 10 over at one point on Friday and made the cut.
I did
and
not
then
know
went
that.
low.
And then, yes, 67 on Saturday and then played with Spieth on Sunday. I will, which reminded me of another kind of thought. There are now 4 guys that have birdied the 16th all 4 days.
Yes.
2 of them came this year.
Fascinating.
I know Bob's nodding his head. Jordan, can you name the 2 fellas that did it this week?
Sam Stevens.
Yep.
I don't know the other one.
Captain.
Captain, Mr. Keegan.
Oh,
And then if you think about, actually, I believe one of the other most recent was 2020, formerly Captain America, Mr. Reed. Might have been
Sad finish
2019.
from Reed, but
Yeah,
I
the
just think it's
live
funny that you mentioned 16.
live was a tough week for live.
Well, they were missing
Tough
one of
week
their
for
best
live.
players at the course.
Yeah, true. Yes, the no Mickelson to juice up the live guys, I think was um tough. They were definitely, I think they were missing their form wellness gummies. Um,
It's
but yeah,
yeah.
that was tough. I mean, look, Reed made it interesting. Didn't he birdie the first 3 on Saturday to get it to 2?
9.
Yeah.
He
It was
sort of
2
led the
back.
charge to McIlroy, put the pressure on him, and then he just kind of exited the tournament.
Yeah, there were reasons why. Bob and I discussed why the charge didn't stay for Reed, but we'll keep those off podcast as to why Reed didn't charge.
Potentially. I will say
Needed to get a
that
phone call that he didn't get.
the Lowry ace on Saturday, followed up with a
Terrible.
79 on Sunday, was chills.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
Shane Lowry.
yeah, it was pretty awesome watching Lowry just completely exit. Um,
There were a couple exits on Sunday. Lowry, Reed, Tong.
How Tong, great week for How Tong now.
Oh, a T38 doesn't really get him into anything else.
Yeah, but he's gonna keep playing great golf. He's got a tour card now.
True.
Experience.
Yes. Is he into the
Great,
PGA?
great major experience.
I believe he is.
Yes, he's into the PGA. Well, he's on track and he'll be in the Open at Birkdale.
Correct. That's right. Is he in the US Open?
No, that one will be unlikely.
Hmm. It's disappointing.
Yeah, it's not looking good. He'll be at qualifying probably.
So will Flowers.
Rooting for him. I'm a huge Haotong Lee guy. Um,
Good for the game.
he's just got a lot of weird ties to Jordan Spieth and myself specifically. Like, I mean, such a random final group pairing that we saw at Portrush. And then him and Spieth on the range. And that's
Harding Park.
63 at the Open. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, he was T3 at Birkdale in 17, and he's going back this year. I mean,
I watched a little bit of his interview with Smiley. Did you see what threw him off track between Harding Park and to where he got his tour card back last year?
I knew he had a stomach issue, but that's not what you're referring to.
No, he said he tried to do DeChambeau and hit big bombs. Tried to gain speed and could not figure it out. He said he would just snap hook it back in China while he was playing over COVID.
Well, he outplayed DeChambeau this week, so
He did, but he's back to that. It's a beautiful pull cut. It's a great ball flight.
yeah,
Very consistent.
he missed 4 cuts going into the Masters. It's impressive.
Yeah,
He's a major player.
major player.
Yeah, I mean, throw out the 6 and the 10 on Sunday. I mean, he's right there.
Right there.
Right there.
Good backdoor a spot on the President's Cup team.
It's actually a
True.
pretty good question.
It's a really good question.
That's a good
All of those
question.
stalwarts are on live.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Data Golf to start updating no one cares about the President's Cup. I mean, they started Ryder Cup like potential like players like well before the Ryder Cup. They're not updated the President's Cup yet. Which will be an interesting team for Mr. Spieth. I don't know where we stand there. If Jordan keeps playing well, I'd kind of be shocked if he didn't get a pick. Trying to think
Can we
what
stop
else.
needing picks, please?
Well, yeah, it's gonna be tough this time around, I think. Ryder
Yeah,
Cup though
probably
next
should.
year. I mean, if he could just, well, who knows what he'll do this week? But I mean, Ryder Cup next year could be interesting in terms of not needing a pick. Obviously, a lot of competition, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Masters. I think we covered a lot. We covered most of RBC as well.
Curious. Oh,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm curious if you guys could guess where Mr. Spieth is on the list.
The President's Cup.
Yeah.
I know it's very low. Someone was talking about it in chat. He's in the 20s, isn't he?
Actually, it doesn't show past the top 15, so I can't tell you where he is. Which is funny. We'll note Scheffler's in, Young, Henley, Kawa, Griffin, Spawn, Bridgman, Goddard, Batia, Schauffele, Thomas, Burns, English, McNeely, Cantlay is the top 15. We'll note Mr. Haotong Lee moves up a few spots into the top 15 for the international team. Have you guys ever heard of Jaden Shaper?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, as the data golf nerd I am, yeah.
Because he's 10th.
Yeah, he's 48th in data golf ranking right now. He was one of the best data golf ranked players to not be in the field at Augusta. He won twice. He won the Alfred Dunhill, which I'm sure we've heard of before. It's a pretty big European tournament, and he won the Asia Open. He won the playoff over Ryan Gerard back in December. He's a Euro Tour guy, but
sounds like
decent.
He's got some game then.
Yeah, he's got a couple wins in the last 4 months.
So you're telling me he's gonna 3-2 Spieth that
I'm not saying that. I'd highly recommend him start playing some PGA Tour golf.
where is the P Cup this year? Is it just is it just always at Quail?
No. It's at Medina, I think.
Ooh,
That might be worse.
Miracle Medina.
It might be worse. Oh, thanks for that.
No,
I
it
think
can't
it's
be
in
worse
Medina.
because at least we only get it every few years. Well, I guess we still get it way too often, but
what I will
Yes,
say is Tom Kim nowhere to be seen, which is fantastic.
he stinks, which is, I mean,
He
there's no
really is
complaints
terrible.
about
It's
that.
pretty incredible.
Ever since
Yeah,
he DQ'd Spieth unintentionally from the Genesis, his career has gone downhill.
yeah, it's karma. I'm trying to think. Spieth at Medina 2019 BMW T37. He putted great that week, fellas. Couldn't hit the ball. Does that surprise anyone? I guess we'll get a triple double here shortly with everyone thinking that Spieth is going to win the Wanamaker next month. Um, he played the 2018 BMW at Aronimink and couldn't putt that week either. So, it'd be interesting to see how the putter goes at Aronimink in a month's time. But a lot of hype for the PGA for some reason. I mean, I get the reason, but I think Bob and I were talking, like, let's be real. Let's
It's
be
not a
real
golf
about
course
it.
for Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, if he's second place this week in the T5 at the Trump Championship, the Cadillac, I mean, it's tough to write him off, but we'll
Yeah,
cross that
I
bridge when we get there.
think it could be a sneaky decent spot. Like if you're here's the thing, right? If you're good, it doesn't really matter. Like it matters a little bit.
yeah.
Okay,
I
let
think
me
the
rephrase.
finishing score could be a tough get.
If you're great, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Like if your game is your game, it doesn't really matter. If Spieth's game is at its best, doesn't matter where the golf course is. Sure,
Yeah,
some would fit him a little bit better, fit others a little bit worse. I do think Aronimink might be a little stock, like it sort of screams Scotty Scheffler. Um, but we'll get there when we get there.
yeah,
Maybe Mills shows up and we get some peak contention, some peak chills.
yeah. I have a question before we get to triple double here for both of you. If Spieth is top 10 in putting this week, does he win?
I think he has a damn good chance.
That's a yes or a no.
It's whether the top 10. I'm gonna say no. I think that there's
Okay,
one putt that needs to go that doesn't go.
okay,
If he's
that's fair.
top 10 in putting, what would that be like strokes gained wise? He's gaining
I
like
mean, it could
5
be.
for the week.
Does it
4.
need to be that much? I mean, it probably does. Top 10 is pretty freaking good. Let's see. Top 10 putting at the Heritage last year was not quite 5. It was 3.2.
3.2 for the week. So point 0.8 around.
Yes.
If it's point 0.8 around, you need to get to about point 0.4.
The
You need to
math.
get to about 3.8 to win. So you need
Bob
3
loves
from
this.
the other categories. No,
No.
I
Okay.
don't. I think it needs
Okay.
to be top 5.
Okay.
I just don't trust that the other parts of the game are going to be as high because I think the approach play is going to be more like it might still be just as good as Augusta in terms of how he's hitting it, but the actual value in terms of gaining
Yeah, that's
shots
very
to the
fair.
field is going to be less. So there's going to be a greater emphasis on making putts. And I don't, could he, top 10? No, I mean, it's a good finish. It's definitely, if he's top 10 in putting for the week, there's no way. It's our first top 10 of the year for sure. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't, I think I wouldn't say yes to that until it's top 5.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's a tougher week to gain on approach shots, and that's kind of where he is in the model where he is. I think I gave you a guess last night, Dan, when we were chatting, but any idea, Bob?
I was gonna think lower than expected.
Yeah,
23.
23rd, right on the money.
Wow.
Right on the
I
money.
said 20, I
23rd.
think I said 20 last night. So, um,
There's some names ahead of him, man, that's just like, I don't
I
know.
was looking
But
forward to that part of the podcast, actually. I was wondering whether it was going to be like really disappointing or whether it was going to be fairly high.
I
But
mean, 23, it's kind of just like, yeah, Like he's been playing in every tournament when he's not losing 8 shots putting. That's kind of just where he's at, is like T15.
Yeah, I mean, the model's been nailing him. Model was 13th at the Valspar, was T11. We'll throw out Valero because it was
Model
15th in the model at Augusta and finished 12th. I mean, he's all,
12th. Yeah,
but if you told me better than worse than 23rd this week, I'd say better.
I'd agree. Yeah, no, I think the model's not accounting for the Mills resurgence through like 8 holes on
Yeah,
Thursday.
I certainly won't be
Um,
giving him that.
I will say the model too isn't necessarily accounting for that. We have our first early late tee time in what
Ooh,
feels like forever. Like Mr.
yeah,
Spieth can go set the fucking pace. Excuse my language.
there goes all the money. There goes the money.
Yeah, there it goes. That's
Demonetized.
that's why
Demonetized.
we make this show not for kids.
No, it's not for
Apologies.
kids. Not for
Um,
Sammy. Not for Sophie. Not for Sully.
no, certainly not for Sully. Um, but it's yeah, like I mean he's off with Cam Young too. That's a good pairing. Definitely. I don't know if they have the like featured groups. But I imagine he's the marquee pairing.
Timmer
Yeah.
Thomas's pairing
It
based
Oh,
cannot
we know
on,
which
be
one will get that.
Thomas.
yes, defending champ playing great golf.
Yeah. Where did Thomas finish last week? T48.
I don't think it was that bad.
It's close. I think like T41 maybe.
Yeah, T41.
Chills.
Still getting reps
Yeah,
under his
just
belt.
such a classic Thomas week at the Masters.
Yeah, he's pretty uncompetitive
Every
there.
year.
Yeah, I think
He,
I mean
wow.
he's also because Spieth's opposite of the Scheffler time, so
Oh,
it kind
that's
of makes it.
disgusting. I'm looking at Thomas's data golf page since the 22 PGA, which he won, one green box, and
In the
he's
majors.
missed, yes, 24 PGA, and he's missed 7 cuts. He sold his soul to Pereira.
The Concord.
I mean, we
What
think
place did he
Jordan's been
conquer?
bad. Um, Southern Hills,
Southern Hills. Yes.
and then it was a T8 at Valhalla. Come on. That sums up who Justin Thomas is, man. Like, come on. Wins at Quail Hollow, and I mean, he just plays great at the shitty PGA venues. pretty, pretty frank, but true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who he is. But ready for triple double?
I think we are, and I'll lead off by saying, Jordan, congratulations. It was
Like,
you took a large chance and it paid off. You did kind of what you had to do to get back into it. And yes, you've used two big guns. You do have a just under $1 million lead. So you're right back in this thing.
leading this thing.
Brutally. So congratulations to you on a
Thank you.
fantastic week, a must-have week. Dan, better luck next year.
Well,
Must-
now's the time. I don't think we don't do Zurich, do we?
Nope.
So there's it's 2 SIGs or
There's only three
no,
SIGs left, right?
there's three
No,
straight SIGs in the
yeah.
PGA in the next 4 weeks.
Travelers and Memorial Bobs. There's a few left.
So
Oh
there's a
yeah,
few
you're right, I
left,
guess.
but um I do have the first pick this week, which is huge. Um
He's right there if
to
you want him.
to cut the lead to 35. Yes, I mean I'll say the rest of my piece after I take Scotty Scheffler first. Um, but some weeks for me to make up ground. This is a big month for me. But
Yeah, I
Scheffler,
I thought about taking him, but yeah, I probably wasn't going
I
to.
just need to stay intact. Like if somebody else took him this week, I think I am gone unless it's the worst week of his season.
a good player,
Yeah.
He's
proper
a good
player.
player. He's a good
He
player,
can.
that's
He's
for
a
sure.
solid player to go with. So I'm up. I kind of mentioned this is a tricky course to separate yourself on. Um, so I don't think I'll apologize for saying I'm probably not going to use any big guns this week, or big guns. I was talking to Dan last night, and since 2010, this event has ended in a playoff 8 times. Eight. Yeah, it's just, and what the other 4 of the years was a one-shot win. Like it's just tough to separate yourself around here, which I think brings in some of the lesser players. Um, so speaking of lesser players, I am gonna go with um, I will go Sam Burns,
Hmm.
guy that was around last week until he wasn't, but he actually collapsed a lot later than I expected him to collapse.
It's fair.
Yeah. And honestly, like his collapse wasn't even what
Yeah,
he shot even par on Sunday, one over.
yeah.
He ejected quickly for sure, but
No, he hung around though. It's like stress is off this week, and I think he takes something from that. And who knows? I like Sam Burns this week.
Um, I will open up my picks with someone who I think is on at least Jordan's radar. I don't know whether he is. Um,
Who are the two
if he's
guys I
not, I'd
want?
love to know where he is on your model. But I'm gonna go with Big
Okay,
Set.
interesting.
I
Uh,
liked how he looked when he played with Spieth last week. Um, this golf course much more up his alley than Augusta National.
true.
yeah,
So taking a little chance just because I wanted with taking him first. I will go with a big gun next or a big gun for this week. I'll go Russ Henley.
Oh,
Um, so yeah, I think that I don't know if his number's really bettable, but for this, perfect. Haven't used him yet. Love it.
okay. Um, goes back to me now. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a guy I think I've used. Well, I've used him twice. I was gonna go Jason Day. Okay, that changes everything. It's funny, we were just shitting on him. I'm gonna go Justin Thomas.
Yeah, I thought about it. Yeah,
I
I've also
go ahead.
I've also just realized I've used Hao Tong Lee twice this
Yeah, I mean
year.
that wasn't surprised. Great player. Great
That
player.
is unbelievable.
Yeah, JT, he's I mean, obviously had the late start to the year with the injury. I think it's a foregone conclusion he'll start playing some better golf at some point and defending champion here. So I don't think he'll go back to back, but I don't know. I don't want to use any of the big guns this week, really. I'll let you guys have them.
I'm about to sneeze, which is fantastic. Trying to fight that off while I see, because I don't want it. I mean, I'm only, oh, yeesh. I'm getting doubled up right now.
It's a tough number to look
Um,
at.
no, it's not. I need to go see who I've used twice, which I appreciate you keeping track of, Jordan.
Yeah, no worries. You haven't used many guys twice at all. I've used a ton.
Yeah, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to Matt Fitzpatrick here.
Fat Mitts.
Yeah, because I
Mitts.
think
He had a
we're
disappointing week last week.
yeah, T18. A lot of people were kind of on him.
Yeah.
Um, oh, and I hate that I'm about to do this, but it must be
Excellent.
done.
I,
It must be done. Oh,
Jordan
no,
Smith.
it can't be done. Yeah, Jordan Smith. Um, actually, I'll just say it out loud because I'm thinking about it. I have one more Shane Lowry use.
Yeah, you'll make it easy to root against your players if you go Lowry.
But he's not very like when he crumbled at the Players, he wasn't very good the week after. Was it the Players? No, he crumbled at the Honda and he wasn't
Yes.
very good at API. I'm also apologies for the delays here, but this is
No
a big
problem.
week for me.
Yeah,
No, I like getting the insight into Dan's mind.
I'm also
yeah, me too.
sort of wondering like if this is a Bob Mack bounce back week.
I'll just say he's second. No, he's third in the model.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Well, give me Bob Mack then.
Okay. He's trust in the model. I asked Elise earlier for her thoughts. I don't think he should be totally discredited.
I've already used Jordan Smith twice. That's
Yes.
incredible.
That's your guy, man.
Yeah, I'll go Bob Mack. I haven't used him yet either, so that's nice. Um, thanks for Thorbjorn Olesen being used. Uh,
Patriot.
I was considering a play on Mr. Spieth actually as well.
I was too. I don't think his floor is that bad this week, to be honest.
No, I don't
Uh,
either. I think you look ahead to the Texas. I mean, he'll easily be used by one of us at the Schwab. I haven't used him yet. Each of you guys have used him once.
well, I'm
Thought about it. Um,
I got a fear who I'm using for my third play now since I can't use J Day. Um, I, nice job, my dumbass. Um, hmm, darn. Um, no. Apologies. I feel like Dan now on delay.
oh, this
How did
is
he play
good.
at Augusta? If he played half decent at Augusta, I'll use him. D30. Ah, whatever. Pace of play here. Have I used him twice? I have not. I'll go Alex Noren. I
Mr.
don't.
The
Yeah,
Swede. The Swede.
I don't love it. But I really don't love. I don't know who to love this week. So I'll go with
well,
those three gents.
speaking of pace of play, I'll go Pat Cantlay.
That's phenomenal.
Um, just it's a free use because he's just never someone who you have to worry about using twice in a season. Um, but he is a damn course horse at this place, and
Yeah.
I liked what I saw out of him on Sunday. Wouldn't be surprised if he shoots a 5 under round Thursday and finishes pretty well if he contends. Maybe I don't think he wins just because he hasn't been in contention in years. But yeah, give me those three. Three. I mean, Cantlay and Henley are two of the favorites, so um, I don't think Cantlay's number is very bettable this week. I don't think 20 to 1 is very good, but I'll
I feel
take
like
him
I'm
for
gonna
the
give
team.
some. Yeah, I feel very confident I'll be finishing third this week, which I'm fine with. Sort of.
Yeah,
As long as Bob doesn't. Damn, I mean Scheffler is tough to look at, but I get it. I
I
do get
mean,
it.
okay, so if you guys were in my spot, is Scheffler like a must play this week?
Probably. Yeah. Because I mean you don't come around again until I have the Cadillac, Bob will have Quail, and you'll have which isn't there a shitty event after Quail?
I'll have the PGA,
Okay. Well, yeah, you could be looking at well, unless we
but
use
that's not.
Scheffler.
I also who's got who's got next week? Bob?
Well, no one because it's
Right, but
Zurich. I'll have the
I think
Cadillac.
Jordan.
oh, so Bob gets Memorial too. Sheesh.
That's tough to look at.
Well,
That's fine. I mean, Scheffler could
You
win
can
every
already
week
put
from
down
now
my
on.
Scheffler pick at
Yeah.
Memorial.
yeah, That's what I
Yeah.
was worried about. So yeah,
I think
Yeah.
Scheffler could. I don't know if it's possible for Scheffler to finish outside of the top 5 at the Memorial.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So
I think I've said on this podcast, I don't think there's a course on tour that fits him more than
I won't be.
the
I won't
results
be
show.
using. I don't think I'll be using Rory all year. I just can't get behind Rory.
you'll
I'm
be
first.
can I trade you some like Russell Henleys for your Rorys?
I'll take a Scheffler for both of my Rorys.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's not
I don't know.
happening.
I've already used
Thanks.
a Rory and he gave me 0. So maybe I'll also
Oh.
boycott my Rory.
I also used a Morikawa and got 0. So the injury
The
bug is
more
bound to hit Bob.
I used Bryce. I mean, we both used Bryson, Rom, Dan, and those didn't turn out too well.
And you got your 25,000.
Yes, congratulations.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Rom got a little more than that, but
I told Dan I was looking to see how Doral played back when they played it. And I'm first next week, and I told Dan that Rory will play very well at Doral. I don't think there's a way I don't use Rory at the Cadillac. I don't care if it'll be a little bit rusty. That course is bombed away. Which will be fun when we get. I'm happy that Jordan's in the Cadillac. Um,
I'm looking forward to watching his drives find the water.
hey, we're in good shape right now, man. Come on.
yeah, let's just focus on the first hole at 10:15, okay?
Yes. What can you do to help Jordan Spieth win the RBC this week?
Exactly. That's to our audience right now. What can you do?
Yeah, speaking of our audience, before we forget, if they've somehow made it the hour and 20 into this pod, by all means, you're the best. But I think what makes this fun is like having the community to rejoice and cry. Well, not actually, but like feel the
Well,
pain
when he
and
wins, there could be tears.
embrace, all of the ups and downs that is this roller coaster. I know, Jordan, you put out a post, thanking people, the followers for following along. I had a lot of fun on Twitter, on Instagram, seeing some of the comments, hanging out, chatting with people about how it was going, the Masters, whatnot. So, shout out to y'all who listen and partake in that stuff. Because we're just a few people that like to talk about it, but I know that there's plenty of you guys out there that also do as well, and it's fun to engage in that, and makes the weeks a lot better. So especially because I think a lot of people feel pretty excited about where the game's headed overall. So let's like you were saying, Bob, let's eat our vegetables this week. Let's,
Pray the rosary, Mr.
right.
Slaver.
Yeah. Let's
There is
keep our language clean. I'm already off to a bad start there. But you know, do all the things to get a Spieth triumph here in the future, because it's coming. He does trend before he wins, and the iron play is very much trending. So
It's important to note that the last 2 times Spieth won, I did go to church that Sunday.
are you serious? I guess it was
church
Easter
every
Sunday,
Sunday, dude.
I guess it was Easter both times. So
Come on, Catholic school, man. Freaking be in church every Sunday.
try our best. We get that. We're not that bad.
As a fellow Catholic school man, yeah, we're not that bad, but we apparently could be better.
We definitely could be better. I could be better.
Ryan could be
Mills could
better.
be better.
Ryan could be much better.
Ryan could be way better.
I can be better.
Could be better.
I'm the other way I'm going to be better is I'm going to eat an ice cream sandwich after this podcast ends.
Okay. Well,
Um,
I mean, since I don't want to keep you any longer, so I feel like
no, by all means, there's no rush. It's in the freezer. It's doing its thing.
I'm happy it's doing its thing. But
Yeah.
that's all I got. I don't know. Do we have anything else, fellas?
That's all we got.
All right, go get
Yeah.
your ice cream sandwich, then. I will talk to you.
No, come on. We don't have to end like this.
I
There's
mean,
got to be one
go
more
get your
thought.
sandwich.
Yes.
There's no more thoughts. I mean,
No more
well,
thoughts.
go to church, go to whatever,
I'm-
place of worship that your religion follows,
Yeah.
and have a good week.
Place of worship, ice cream sandwiches if you partake.
Yeah,
And
simple as that.
thank you. And first top 10 of the week coming, if not a dub. We'll see you
Like the
Sunday
sound of
night
that.
for the live.
Yes, we
Yes,
will.
sir.
See ya.
Peace.